Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your December 2018 general readings. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Welcome to any newcomers. Thanks for all your comments, feedback, support, your shares, likes, subscribes. Thanks to all of my clients out there, regular and new, for all the busyness with personal one-on-one readings. Honor, pleasure. Thank you. If any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me and you've never read with me before, you've forgotten the information, you can get more info and my contact details by going to my YouTube channel's homepage, clicking on the little About button there, or you can just click on the description bar of any of the videos I post. Please feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to work with you. Turnaround time is pretty good because I do readings full time, 5 to 6 days a week. It is what I do, and I can usually get back to you within the first day or the first 24 hours of your initial contact with more info. But during the holiday season, of course, the sooner booked the better. I do a wide variety of readings of all different types and lengths and costs in all the main areas of life. And you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy. Excuse me, that link is also provided. Instantgo is really good, particularly for single questions, fast answers to fast, easy questions. The more intensive or complex readings, complicated situations, the more traditional, conventional readings are best, but something else for you to consider. All right, let's move right into this. This reading is for the air sign of Aquarius for the month of December 2018. Let's see what's in store for our Aquarians for December 2018. Remember that general readings resonate always a little differently for everybody watching, so if you know your rising and moon sign, watch those as well for additional clarification. Okay, Aquarius, December 2018. We begin with the Five of Wands, followed by the Empress. We have the Seven of Pentacles, followed by the Queen of Cups. We have the Devil, followed by the Two of Pentacles. And we have the Page of Pentacles, followed by the Nine of Cups. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy and guidance is the Wheel of Fortune in the upright. So definitely divine timing and orchestration is at play here, with your overall energy being the Wheel of Fortune. In the upright, it does represent a stroke of good luck, of good fortune. We have no control over this. This is God, Spirit, your angels, and guides, divine timing and orchestration here. So even if whatever situation this resonates for you as might feel a little challenging, it is definitely moving in a divine way towards your ultimate joy and fulfillment. Because in the upright position, the implication is that this is a stroke of good luck, of good fortune in your favor, and you do end the month with the wish fulfillment card. So it does look like there's some conflict, some uncertainty and some conflict about whether or not this may be the right time to begin something. Maybe begin something new or start something new. We have the Five of Wands clarified by the Empress. So the Five of Wands is the conflict card. This can represent internal conflict, external conflict. The conflict energy of the Five of Wands is relatively petty in nature. Now in the middle of the conflict, it may feel like this big important thing, but the Five of Wands usually shows up when it's about petty energy, circular fighting over the same thing over and over again, going around and around in circles about it, and really kind of forgetting what the main focus is because it's somewhat petty energy. The way to resolve this is for one of these people, because the reason they keep going around and around in circles is competitive, conflictive energy, is nobody's willing to elevate themselves and say, hey, let's look at the important thing here and let everything else slide, or let's focus on what's important, what the issue is. In here, nobody's willing to give an inch, to compromise and negotiate at all. And so that's why this continues in a circular fashion. It could just mean competitive energy in a new beginning or a new environment. But I feel like it's just conflict and petty energy. It can represent gossip and rumor mongering as well for some of you. particularly in a work environment. But it's clarified by the Empress, which represents fertility, fertility means that the time is right to conceive, which means to plant the seeds to begin to manifest and grow something further down the road. Typically when the Empress shows up, it represents that, it represents that a time is right for starting new things, new relationships, new projects, new paths, the very beginning part, doing the initial footwork about it. It can also represent, taking better care of yourself, and maybe even being a little self-indulgent in your care of yourself, because she's the traditional Earth Mother of the Tarot, very nurturing. She kind of balances, she represents perfect balance of the tangible, earthly, sensual, and the spiritual, unseen, intangible energy as well. So the time is right for something, and there is in the conflict. So it may be that because it looks like you have a choice to make. You're going back and forth between two choices or two options or two things. So it may be that there's some conflict between you. It could be just within yourself, and for others of you, it could be with a partner or another group of people, on whether or not this is the right time to actually begin a new path, or begin the conception process of something new. For others of you, this might be, conflict and arguing over actual fertility. Maybe some of you want to start a new family or add to your family, and maybe your partner's not in agreement with that, or or your family isn't, or there's a conflict around it. Somehow it could be that for a lot of you, or for some of you, actually not a lot of you, for a smaller portion of you. You have a fair amount of Pentacles energy here, Aquarius. So whatever this conflict is about, it looks like it's about the efforts that you put into building something. Now, Pentacles energy is earth energy, so it could be job, work, career, finance, assets, properties, etc. Those tangible, practical areas of your life. But it also represents the efforts and the work that we put into building anything in our life, whether it's relationships, spiritual path, etc. So it looks like whatever the source of this conflict is, or what it's about, could be related to, about, or affected by the earth energy area of your life. Some of you, it might be conflict over whether or not to quit a job and start a new job, or start a new career path, or start a new business, or a new project of some kind as well. And is this the right time or not to do it? So next to that, we have the Seven of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups, which makes sense. I kind of like this graduation, because there's conflict about whether or not it's, everything that's going on is totally divine timing and orchestration, but it looks like at least end of November, beginning of December, there's some conflict about it. So here we have reflection, which is what the number 7 actually means. Number 7 is reflection, assessment, motives, motivations. The Seven of Pentacles represents taking a look at what you have, and asking yourself, does what I currently have meet the effort that I put in to get it? Is the harvest that I've put so much work in here, does it match the efforts that I put into it? Did I get what I expected to get back? Did I get more? Did I get less? Because that's how you make decisions on how to proceed. It looks like a pretty good harvest. I mean, we're at the 7 here, 10's representing completion. It looks like a pretty good harvest, but it might not, you might have worked harder and expected to get more, or if you're considering leaving one job for another job, or stopping one thing to start something new, or venturing off, do you have enough built up? Have you put enough work or effort or savings in order to achieve this new beginning? Is that where the conflict about, is this the right time to start this or not, is? Whether it's about a job, a career path, a project, a family, having a baby, something of that sort as well. Because it's going to resonate for each of those things, in the general reading, for everybody who's watching. You're going to hear what you need to hear, and if it doesn't resonate with you at all, that's why we advise you check your rising and moon sign videos as well. So it looks like there's contemplation. Now the Seven of Pentacles is clarified by the Queen of Cups. Now, this may be another person who's significant in the relationship. It might be your partner, whether it's romantic or business or friend or otherwise. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy, sun, moon, or rising. Somebody typically very loving, nurturing, caring. She's reached the top of her game meaning that she's a queen and she's a queen. Queens and kings represent individuals who have mastered their suit, meaning they've come to a point of self-mastery and control over the characteristic traits inherent to their suit. This is cups. Water is the element that governs the suit of cups. So in the tarot, this is emotions, feelings, relationships. So she's somebody who's emotionally stable, and very in control of her emotions. She's very loving, nurturing, always knows the right thing to say, great source of love, support, feedback, patient, waits when she needs to. Although being the Queen of Cups, she can tend to dive quite deeply in her emotions. So for some of you, this may be another person who's significant in this situation. For a lot of you, I'm feeling this just on an energetic level. When the Queen of Cups shows up, it's advice about taking a step back while you're in this contemplation energy and asking yourself to make this decision based on not only just the facts of what you have or if you have enough or if this is the right time, but how do you really feel about this? The Queen of Cups is in touch with her emotions. She's very spiritual and intuitive, and she pays attention to that and allows that to lead her and guide her in a balanced, healthy way. So I think this is a decision you're going to have to make based on both facts and information, and also with feelings as well, and your intuition, your intuitive sense. But it looks like it's kind of difficult for a minute. Next we have the Devil and the Two of Pentacles. So twos can often represent duality, being at a crossroads, needing to make a choice, juggling back and forth between two different things, being really busy, kind of going back and forth. So it looks like you are kind of going back and forth, and there's a sense of real instability around it, because that's what the Devil can represent. We're looking at the middle of the month, the third week or so, and we do have, you know, Christmas and New Year. So the Devil can represent overindulgence, because it can represent addictions, strong vices, temptations, things we do to excess, negative, toxic relationships. You know, the scales really being out of balance. So it looks like there may be, but I mean, that's why we do these readings, right? Forewarned is forearmed. So it may be that, you know, while you're kind of in the middle of this, you know, is this the right time to start this? Do I start this or not? Do I have enough to go down this path that I'm considering? There may be, I would say, kind of pay attention to whatever this new beginning that you're wanting to achieve or start is, what it's actually going to take, and be kind of grounded and realistic about it in the process too. I don't feel like you should make this decision just based solely on idea and thought, or solely on emotions or intuition. I feel like this is something you need to make after you've decided that it's the best thing all the way around. And also, when the Devil comes up, I always say be careful, particularly because we're in the holiday season, about too much overindulgence as well. Now, at or towards the end of December 2018, we have the Page of Pentacles with the Nine of Cups. The Page of Pentacles, pages are just starting out, and the Page of Pentacles represents being at the beginning of a path where you're just kind of, it's just beginning to be revealed to you, just starting to come to a deeper understanding and awareness of what it actually takes, it's going to take to make something work in a very realistic, practical way. You know, just kind of coming to the beginning of understanding how to manage money, how to live out in the world and balance work and social life and mortgages and things like that. Or that could mean the same thing in relationship sense. You know, the actual work that the Page of Pentacles is at the beginning of just starting to understand what kind of effort and work in a very practical way it takes to make something work. And it's clarified by the Nine of Cups, which is the wish fulfillment card, getting what you want, your cups overflowing, being full of abundance. So I feel like, and I think at the end of December, Aquarius, a lot of you, for some of you it could be the other person, if this is resonates for some of you as a relationship reading, but I feel like for a lot of you, by the end of December, while you're kind of going through this do I, don't I, is this the right time or not, trying to be realistic and grounded about it, and that's your advice. I feel like at the end of the month, you're starting to have a better understanding of what it's actually going to take to achieve this dream you have, or this goal, this vision you have of this thing that you want. And I think that you end the month with a more grounded realization of what that's going to take. I don't see you making any major or significant decisions just yet. Although we live in a free will zone, you certainly can. I feel like December is more of kind of considering whether or not it's the right time to start something, begin something, do something new, go down this other path. Maybe some imbalance in there. Be careful about overindulging. I think you're going to end the month with a much better understanding of what it's actually going to take to achieve this, which is going to help you make up your mind to decide whether or not to do it or to continue in it. Let's pull some advice energy on how best for you to navigate this energy, this situation through the month of December. The Six of Pentacles. This is a tit for tat card. This speaks of equality, mutual giving, mutual receiving, a healthy symbiotic relationship. So whether or not this is in regard to a personal, emotional relationship issue, or a combination of that, maybe with work, career, and finance, or doing something new, starting something new. I think it looks like at the end of the month, you're starting to get kind of a bigger clue, a bigger idea of what it's actually going to take to make this come into fruition, you know, from the time you plant the seed to the time it grows and fruits and can actually give back to you. And that it's going to take an equal giving and equal receiving, kind of a very healthy balance, you know, especially if this has to do with anything in regards to a partnership. But even if it's just you starting off on your own on a new path or a new project or a new business or something like that, the Six of Pentacles still represents a healthy relationship. We are in relationship to everything. Not only people, our homes, our living environment, our work, our jobs, and what we put into that is directly reflected in what we get back. The imbalance occurs when one side might be giving more, the other side might be giving less, and so it's not an equal flow. So what it's going to take, you know, if it's you on your own or with another person, it's going to take you putting in an effort and seeing that effort kind of return so that it's a healthy, balanced thing moving forward in order for you to make the decision on whether this is realistic for you or not. So Aquarius, that pretty much wraps up your December 2018 general reading. I hope you found it helpful. Again, if any of you are interested in a more personal one-on-one reading with me, please feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be most happy to work with you. I do love and romance, of course, relationship compatibility, reconciliation potential. I do career, work, and finance readings as well as investment readings. And I also do 6 and 12-month overviews, which take a look at what's coming in your life in all the main areas over a 6 or 12-month period of time, depending on how far ahead you want to look, which are particularly popular this time of year, although you can do them any time of the year. As we start to end one year and go into the next year, I always get a lot of requests for the overviews during December and January. So something to consider as well. And gift readings too, which are particularly popular during the holiday seasons. Personal readings as gifts for friends, family, and loved ones. So you can get more info and contact details by clicking on the description bar of any of the videos I post, sending me an email directly. You can also go to my YouTube channel's homepage and click on that little about button for more info and contact details as well. So I will see you all again in a couple of weeks, Aquarius, for the December mid-month readings. And until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Take care.